Welcome to our channel Quaint Cosmos. Today we are going to discuss a very fascinating topic. The topic is geosynchronous satellites. Yes, geosynchronous satellites. Few days back a video was posted. The topic was their geostationary satellites, and here we are talking about right now geosynchronous satellites. Just keep in your mind that all the geostationary satellites are geosynchronous satellites, but not all the geosynchronous satellites are geostationary in nature. Geostationary satellites are a special case of geosynchronous satellites. Okay, geosynchronous satellites, they take for complete one revolution around the Earth almost 24 hours. That is exactly the amount is 23 hours 56 minutes and 4 seconds, and that is almost approximately equal to 24 hours. That means the geosynchronous satellites rotate in sync with Earth, means with Earth's rotation. You know that geostationary satellites, they remain above a fixed point on Earth, but in case of geosynchronous satellites, they do not remain over a fixed point on Earth. Actually, what happens, geostationary satellites rotate around the equator of Earth. Means geostationary satellites remain just on the top of the equator. But there is a tilt, there is a little tilt in case of geosynchronous satellites. That means geosynchronous satellites move a bit north and south each day. That means when viewed from Earth, a figure 8-like pattern is observed from the surface on the Earth. Okay, 8-like pattern, 8, the digit 8. Okay, because it moves a bit to the north and south each day. So geosynchronous satellites remain tilted, and the special case is the angle of tilt is 0 degree. In that case, that becomes a geostationary satellite. So the conclusion is what? All the geostationary satellites are geosynchronous in nature, but not all the geosynchronous satellites are geostationary. So what is the purpose of such satellites? You know that these satellites are placed at a very large distance from the surface of the Earth. The distance is 35,786 kilometers, 35786 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. So distance is huge. At such a distance, the satellites rotate around the Earth. Of course, it remains sync with the rotation of Earth. Means I am talking about both the geosynchronous satellites and the geostationary satellites. And due to this huge distance from the surface of the Earth, signals can take up to a quarter of a second to reach the surface of Earth. This might not hurt much this time, since it is just quarter of a second, but in case of live broadcasting, it makes a huge problem. So adjustments are required. Anyway, so I was talking about geosynchronous satellites in this video. So distance is huge, it remains tilted, it makes a 8-like pattern in the sky. What more? The requirement is to constantly powering the satellites, and for that purpose solar cells are used. But if you can use efficient solar cells to power the satellites, then the lifetime, means the lifespan of the satellites would become longer. Again, to keep them in the orbit or at a fixed distance from this surface Earth, then in that case advanced technologies are required. Anyway, so I was talking about geosynchronous satellites, and these fulfill many purposes like internet, then radio signals, then for mobile communication, you know that signals are required. Okay, when you are, say, just imagine you are talking from New York to Tokyo in a video call. So in that case, constantly there should be a supply, means uninterrupted supply of signals should be there, and that can be maintained by using these geosynchronous satellites. So in today's world, we cannot think to live without the help of geosynchronous satellites. Many purposes are being fulfilled by using such satellites, geosynchronous satellites. And huge cost is involved, huge maintenance cost is involved in this. Launching and maintenance both are expensive for geosynchronous satellites, but at present there is no other way out. We must use these satellites. Yes, if newer technologies are developed by the scientists, then in that case they may be less expensive in future. They may purpose more, they may serve more purposes in future. Okay, and they may stay in their orbit for longer period of time if technologies are advanced. And you know that they have a fixed lifespan, and after that they are sent to graveyard orbit, which is few hundred kilometers away from the geosynchronous orbit. Few hundred kilometers away. Okay, that orbit is called graveyard orbit. Defunctioned means the satellites which are not functional, which have become out of order. Okay, the satellites which are of no use, they are sent to that orbit so that they cannot disturb the operational satellites. Anyway, I am not talking about here in this video graveyard orbit. For that purpose, I will make a separate video. Okay. So this was all about geosynchronous satellites. Without this, we cannot think to live peacefully today. We are dependent. We have become dependent, either knowingly or unknowingly. Most of the people do not know their contribution in our daily lives. But if you are a student of physics or engineering, or if you are educated, then you know the contribution of those satellites. Anyway, so this was all about geosynchronous satellites, and so this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video.